There's one right there. There's one right there. There's one right there. There's one on the big spoon. Nice fish. Here's the spoon. Here's the bass. You know, out here today, I just caught that bass on one of Ben Parker's big Magnum spoons, and this is a new rod and reel that'll be out next week at ICAST from Lou's, and this rod series is called the Custom Speed Stick, and this is going to be, I believe, in 25 different models. I've also got a Magnum Worm Rod that I'm going to try out today, and a 610 Spinnerbait Rod, and this rod is a 711 heavy action rod, and it really is well balanced and light. It's not like a lot of big rods that I've used in the past. This rod's very well balanced, very light. Doesn't really feel like a 7'11" rod. And as you can see, this rod they've gone back to the old colors, the black and white like the Lou's rods of the 70s. And this rod's gonna retail for $129 to $149. And they've got that coupled. I've got this coupled with a new Lou's Super Duty that's going to be introduced next week at ICAST, and it's an 8-to-1 gear retrieve ratio reel. Takes up 36 inches of line, and for fishing these big spoons, that's great. Anytime you need to take up a lot of line, worm or jig fishing, I tell you what, it did a wonderful job on that fish a while ago. There's one. There's one right there. Actually a pretty decent one too. Kind of fighting me, isn't he? Got him through the bottom lip. Let me get him up here. He's a fat one. There's a nice bass on the new Lou's Magnum Bass Rod. About a 2.5 pounder. We'll let him go. See you later. Well, that's one thing. This is another new rod. Same line, the Custom Speed Stick line. This is a Magnum Bass Rod. This is a 7-foot medium heavy, and I just caught that bass on a worm, and I've got this coupled with the new Team Lou's Light reel. And this reel, you've got to feel it to believe it. This reel only weighs 5.7 ounces. It's a 7:5-to-1 gear ratio retrieve, and you just can't believe how light and well balanced this rod and reel combination is. I mean, it is a dream to fish a worm or a jig with, or really anything. But this is another one of the new rod and reels. It'll be out at ICAST next week. And this, like I said, this is a custom speed stick. This rod's gonna retail from $129 to $149, and comes in 25 different rods. So this is another rod that I've really been impressed with. This new reel is, I mean, I can't tell you how impressed I am. This is an aluminum frame reel that weighs 5.7 ounces, how smooth and light it is. You've really got to look at one of these, and it's just a pleasure to fish with. There's one. Boy, he got it too. See if I can get him in here. And we got one on the new Lew's Spinnerbait Rod. Not a bad one. This is another new rod in the line that'll be out next week at ICAST. And once again, this is a 6'10". It's a medium heavy spinnerbait rod. And I've had this coupled with the new Lew's Tournament Light Series reel. And this reel is an all carbon reel. It's very light. This is a 6:4 gear retrieve ratio. Just a very light, well-balanced setup. Like I said, this rod comes in 25 different styles, and I believe this reel retails for around $179. And like I said, this is just really, you just can't believe how light this rod and reel is, combination together. I think this is one, you know, everybody's going to want to look at it.
Check us out at wired2fish.com.